Let's talk about playing Relicblade on Tabletop Simulator. So Tabletop Simulator is a video game that you can get on Steam, and really it's just a platform for playing board games online with your friends. I loaded some Relicblade assets onto Tabletop Simulator just so I could play with some friends, and it turns out it's super fun. It's so much fun that that I decided to create a official mod for Relicblade on Tabletop Simulator and give it out for free so that people can really get in and start playing the game. Now, to play on Tabletop Simulator, you'll still need the rulebook. So it's not like totally free, but I put a bunch of assets, I put a bunch of figures and cards onto the game so that you can play. And this video is going to be about how to set up and play on Tabletop Simulator and some of the controls. It's not that I want to give away a bunch of Relicblade stuff for free, but I want to make it as easy and accessible to play as possible. I realized that actually getting together to play games is one of the biggest barriers for tabletop wargaming. And so with this, it doesn't replace playing it in real life, but it is a really cool opportunity to log on and get in a few games. And it's so much fun. The Relicblade community is all over the world, so you can meet up with players from all over the place, which is, it's just so great because it plays so similar to playing in real life with your friends. We've got a Discord server. You can have, just hang out and play some really good games. It's such a great game. I'm very excited that you'll have the chance to check it out online and get in a bunch of cool adventures. All right, so I'm going to dive into the computer, show you some of the controls, and hopefully get you started playing Relicblade. So once you've downloaded and launched Tabletop Simulator, it'll give you this screen. We have the option to join games already in progress or create games. To get started with Relicblade, we'll go to Create, and we can either set up a single player room or a multiplayer room. With multiplayer, you'll be able to set a server name and password. Password protection is pretty important because you don't want strangers to come in and knock over your game or delete things or just flip the table. So you can set that up and invite your friends to play. But to get it just set up in the beginning, we'll go single player. To find the Relicblade mod, go to Workshop, Browse, and then here in the search window, you can type in Relicblade. The official mod is right here, and you'll just hit the subscribe button in the corner. So you can see I've subscribed to all of these already, but there'll be a little green button. You click that, and that's all you got to do. Close it, and then from here, it'll have all of the different mods you've downloaded, and you can launch the Relicblade official tabletop mod. So what it does is it launches a room that I've already set up with all the assets and everything. It'll take a little while to download, and then we're in the room to play Relicblade. I've set up a little 2x2 mat here, but once you get going with Relicblade, you'll be able to set up your own battle mats and download whatever, find ruins and things in other dungeon mods and set up your own games. I have a bunch of figures set up for you. I've got the tokens and dice and everything you'll need to play. I've got a little quick start guide for new players, the website so people can check it out. But basically the overview of Tabletop Simulator, I can give you an idea of the controls, how to mess around and navigate, and that'll be important because once you get comfortable in this environment, it can be really very similar and rewarding. A lot of fun like playing in real life. So let's get started. Controls, it's WASD to move your camera around, flying around the world. With the mouse, you can right click to and hold it down to pivot around and rotate. And then you can use the wheel to zoom in. You can get in really close. And to pick up objects, you just click on them and place them. So we'll use this little flame bearer as an example. So I can pick him up and click and move him around. If I was playing a game, I could use the E and Q to rotate him so I can get the best angle since the models are just little standees. There is the F. You can hit F to flip him over. And what else is important? Oh, and then probably the most important thing is learning how to move and measure. If you click and hold tab, you can do measurements on the tabletop. Click and hold tab, and you can see how far away objects are. So if you're measuring range from the flame bearer to attack, well, we'll grab this pig. Say this pig is standing back here, and I want to know if he's in range for an attack. I can click and hold tab from his base to his base and see that he's a little over 12 inches away. Now, measurement's good. You can just hit tab to mark a spot, and other players can see that. So you can be like, I'm going to target this pig, and they can see your measurement and everything. Now, to move, you can pick up a character, and while you're holding down the mouse button to pick him up, press and hold tab, and then as you move, it'll measure how far you moved. This guy can move 2 inches per move, so I could let go of tab, set him down, and he will have moved 2 inches exactly. If I pick him up and hold tab and measure and then set him down, it'll still be in the measuring tool. So you have to go back up here and switch back to the grab tool so your hand is working again. But if you let go of tab before you set him down, you'll be back in the hand mode. So that's pretty handy. But that'll be something that'll take some getting used to, switching back and forth, make sure you're in the hand mode. Okay, so let's see. We want this guy to move a little bit because he was 12 inches away from that pig, and he's got a 10-inch range on his spell. Now, how do I know that? Well, I've got cards here in the game, and then you can use your cards that you already have in your collection. So I happen to know that I put the Flame Bearer cards in this stack. The Flame Bearer figure was with this group of figures. So I can right-click this, and I can click Search, and then it'll show all of the figures or cards that are in this stack or deck. So I can grab the Flame Bearer card, set it down, can pick it up, and set it down over here. So I'm able to read the card's rules and check it out. He has this longer range spell, is range 10, so I'm going to need to move closer to attack that pig. I'm going to spend 1 die to move 2 inches. I can measure again, do 2 more inches, so I'm 4 inches closer, and that will have spent 4 of his 6 dice. Where do I get dice? Oh, up here in the dice bag. Let's get out 6 dice. Now, these are all his action dice. I will have spent 2 already to move, so we'll get rid of those, move those over here. And I've got 4 dice left. Now, if you're like me, aesthetics are super important. So why don't we choose these dice, and we can go to color tint, and we can make them a cool color. Yes. Now he's ready for action. Well, he's a flame bearer. We should do some fire colored dice. Oh, sweet. Oh yeah, he's ready for action now. Okay, so Soldier Pig is now in range, so I'll tell my opponent, I'm going to use Mark of Flame. I'm going to target this Soldier Pig. Measure the range. He's within 8.5 inches, so we're good to go. Now I get to do normal Relicblade stuff, like decide whether or not I want to focus. I am going to focus. I'm going to add 1 more die to focus. Now, rolling dice in Tabletop Simulator, you do just pick up the dice and you can throw them. The problem is there's a chance that you'll throw them off the world and they'll disappear and come back in a weird place and knock stuff over. So I got these dice trays. I found them in a different mod. And one thing you'll want to do before you use them is lock them. You can right-click an object, click toggles and lock to lock it, or the hotkey is just L. So you can... one way you can tell if something's locked or not is you can see as I mouse over these dice, they get a white outline, and locked objects don't get a white outline. You have to right-click them to select them rather than just left-click like normal. So I'll grab these dice. Here, let's see. Let's move this over to where we're doing the demo. block that, grab my 3 fire dice. So if you're familiar with the Relicblade rules, I'm going to need a 7. Oh, whoa. I'm going to need, on Mark of Flame, it needs 7 to hit, a 3 and a 4 on 2 dice. So 7 on 2 dice to hit. It's plus 4 damage, and it deals stun effect. And then I'm also going to do the basic action focus, where I get to add 1 more die from my pool to the attempt. So I'm going to roll all 3 of these dice, throw them into this dice box. And the cool thing about this dice box is dice can go in, but they can't come out if they get thrown. So altogether, I did 12, which is higher than 7, so that hits. And now I roll again for damage, and I add the damage bonus. So the damage bonus is plus 4 for a total of 6 damage with Mark of Flame. So he gets hit for 6 damage. The pig player will roll a defense die and add his armor. He only rolled a 1. So he's armor 1. He blocks 2 of 6 damage, takes 4 damage. And he only has 4 health, so he'll be disabled. You can flip him over. Some of the figures I have the disabled token on the bottom, but I also have disabled tokens up here you can grab. So you can grab the token from the bag, set it next to the figure, and then he's got 1 action left. So now I want to dodge, and check it out. I've got dodge tokens. So you can see it's really super similar to playing in real life. You've got tokens, you've got figures, we've got the brazier objectives, which actually have a toggle state right now where you can switch it on and off. So you can keep track of whether or not the brazier's been activated, which is super fun. We've got actually 2 different yak miniatures in here. I don't think there's a scenario that needs 2 yaks, but since I did the drawings, you get to enjoy and choose which one you like. So that's the basics of navigating. It'll take some getting used to getting the controls down, so you might as well just load the single player game, get out some figures, enjoy zooming in, moving around, getting used to measuring your movements. You can either just hold it down and measure the whole movement at once, but it'll be in a straight line. So if you're doing more precision movements, like say I wanted this pig to walk around this wall, I can pick him up, hold tab, move. Okay, move to 2 inches to here. Let go of tab, press tab again. Move 2 inches to here, press tab again. Move 2 inches to here. So now I know he's moved 6 inches to get around that wall. So it's very very accurate and fun. You can play really, really specific scenarios, play everything. And really, I offer all of this for free on Tabletop Simulator because it's mostly just facilitating opportunities for you to play. I'm not really giving very much away. I let you use my drawings that I did. I also include like all the character cards, which is a little bit crazy because these are usually things that people have to download and pay for. But I wanted to make it as easy as possible for community members to jump in and play Relicblade, and also get a chance to play with some friends, international people, because on the Facebook group, we've got people from all over the world that love Relicblade, but because it's an indie game with a smaller community than say Warhammer, it can be harder to find people to play. And so with this, you can get together with friends all over the world and have a lot of fun. So I hope that this tutorial helped you get an idea of how to get into Tabletop Simulator, launch the game. Oh, I want to show you one more thing though. Okay, so it's all cool that I have figures in here for you to play with and a board, but you can build a board in a different room. You can create your own game. You save the terrain from other games, build a 2x2 table and have it all ready. So what you might end up doing in practical terms when you're playing Relicblade is, one, you'll want to save assets that you're going to need. So like dodge tokens and disabled tokens, for example, you can right click and click save object right here, and then type in disabled tokens and click save. When you make your warband, you can grab your figures. Here I've got the Arbaleth Sentinel and my Wild Elf Druid and a Witch and a Pathfinder. And I've got these figures. Say I know I'm going to play a friend later, so I make this list. You can just select them and right click and save those. Or if you wanted to just like save and hoard all of the Relicblade figures that exist so far, you could go to Objects, Components, Tools, and get out a bag. And then just stick all of the components you want into the bag. Whoa. See. There. So and then you can name it also. So this is called the Lostwood Enclave. And then that way you'd have this faction set in a bag ready to import into your own games. So we'll save this object, Lostwood Enclave. And then imagine that I got invited to play and Malev was like, I set up this sweet table, let's play. Then we enter the game. I can go to Objects, Saved Objects, and then click, where is it? Lostwood Enclave, drag it out. And then I can pull out things. You can right click, hit search, pull out, the specific figures that you want to play with. And then you'll be ready to play in whatever game you enter. And that also means that if you're playing D&D or whatever, you can have all these fun standee miniatures ready to play in whatever role-playing setting you want. I made these as like a fun gesture to the community. And the big thing is I want people to get a chance to play Relicblade. I think that's the best way for people to fall in love with it. If you want to get access to more content, you can get on to relicblade.com. Here's on this. You can get onto relicblade.com. On the shop on relicblade.com, we've got a pre-order going for the new edition of the main core rulebook. You can also get the PDF for it, and we've got figures that you can buy. And then also for people who are primarily playing on Tabletop Simulator, you can also get digital downloads. So if you want the Temple of Justice faction digital download, you'll be able to download the PDF, and that has images of all the cards. So then what you'd be able to do is when you're playing with your friends, you can grab one of these, copy and paste it with Control-C, Control-V, right-click, click Custom, and then choose a file. And you can grab a little screenshot of your card and then load the tactics in that way. So you can choose the picture that you save from the PDF that you download and import it. Why didn't that work? Here, we'll do Indomitable Guard Cloud upload. It's loading. I went too fast that previous time. Then click import. Oh no, you know what's funny? I uploaded as the card back. That's what happened. Anyways, so if you don't do it wrong, you click custom, and then on where it says face, browse local files, and then you'll be able to choose the image from your PDF download. So here I want quick shot. Click cloud upload, or you can upload it to your local host. And then that way now I have the tactic of quick shot from the downloads that I bought from Sean on the website. And then you'll be able to play all the full content of Relicblade that way. I mean, if you have the cards in person, there's no real need to necessarily have them on the online environment. But it's fun. It's a nice way to keep track of everything and be ready to play. All right. I think I've covered a lot of it, and I hope that you just are able to get in a bunch more games of Relicblade with this Tabletop Simulator mod and have lots of fun. All right. Bye, guys.